The French, they just seem put together, a little more sophisticated, more refined, more minimalist, and their homes tend to feel that way too. Meanwhile, over here, we're doing a 7-minute panic clean right before someone knocks on the door. And it's not because they're doing these big, exhausting cleaning days. It's because of small, consistent habits that keep things from piling up. Now, I've been to France, and I will get to more to that later, but I started noticing something, and not just in France, but in a lot of places that feel a lot more calm. These smell so good, I have got to dive in. These homes don't rely on big resets. They rely on small ones and a few other little tricks. Most people don't have a cleaning problem. They have a reset problem. And once I saw this, I couldn't unsee it. So I wanted to explore if this simple routine works for a clean and tidy home. Most of us clean our homes after things fall apart. It's more of a reaction sort of things. We tell ourselves we'll do it on the weekend, and by the time we get there, it is a full to-do, like snacks, a podcast, maybe a little bit of resentments. It's a full emotional event. But what I've noticed is some homes don't get to that point. The French word for it is ranger. Now you cannot judge me based on my French accent because I have never been good at pronouncing French. So this means to put things away, to tidy, to arrange. Use constantly in everyday French. So an example, range ta chambre, which means to tidy your room. I'm so sorry if you speak French. I am embarrassed. Je range la cuisine. I'm putting the kitchen back to order is what that means. And it does not mean deep cleaning, organizing systems, or big resets. It's so much closer to just put things back where they go. They're maintained in micro moves along the way. And I am not talking about scrubbing your house down every single night, but just taking care of it. A quick wipe, a quick straighten, a small reset. Think 10 to 15 minutes, not 3 hours and an audiobook that you hated and you want a refund on. These small moves, they maintain the home. That's all we want. They don't rescue it. So for this video, I tried this. I didn't do a full clean. I just picked one small area, my dining room buffet, because I knew it needed a little bit of love. I myself had let it get a little bit messy. So I cleaned it out. I wiped a couple of things out. I even ran down to the basement, a different area altogether, and I mopped, just teeny tiny moves. And what I noticed was it did not feel like cleaning. It just felt like not letting things get out of control. Super easy. And then it was time for tea. The second thing is things don't just live everywhere. They have a place. And they go back to it. They go back to their home. And this is where most of our homes break down. It's not that we don't organize, it's that we haven't made it easy to put things away. So things just end up on the counter, the chair, the other chair, the chair that's basically a closet now. And it's the I will deal with it later pile, which is just a polite way of saying this lives here now. If you hear music, that's my son playing his guitar. Anyway, we want to make putting things away easier than leaving them out. Having obvious homes, so you're just like magnetized to put things away. Easy access and close to where you use things is my absolute favorite. So we don't rise to our goals. We actually fall to the setup and the systems that we have in place. So I tried this in my kitchen, just putting things back as I was using them. And what surprises me about this habit every single time that I do it, because I've been a fan of a place for everything and everything in its place, but what surprises me every time is that it just takes so much less time versus having to take the time later to put everything away, because I wasn't dealing with a pile of stuff later. I was just finishing what I started. And just last night I said to my son, please clean off your desk. And he was all, ugh, and he didn't want to. Meanwhile, and he said it took him half an hour. And I was like, if you just deal with your cans and your cups and your garbage right away, you would not have to deal with this later. Just saying. So this is kind of funny. Now, when I was in Paris, I really thought I was going to get my chance to speak French. I was like, to do or die. As a Canadian, they teach us French in school. And when I was there, I thought, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to just like pull this out. I was like 25 at the time, so it had been a while since I had been in school. I tried to say je le bracelet and je veux le bracelet, or something like that. And he was just like, just speak English. Which honestly, it saved everyone involved, but I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to actually like communicate in French. I don't think I ever have. But there is something I did notice about how I shopped there. And I know other parts of Europe and in the world do this too. They shop different. And people will shop more frequently, smaller amounts, fresher food, less stockpiling. And we can compare that to how a lot of us live. Going to Costco, going to grocery stores. Now, I am not anti-Costco. I love Costco. But we need to be very intentional about what we're buying there instead of like loading up on getting many things we don't need. Sure, we can get the things that a person would get when they go to the market. And when I was in England, just before I went to France on that particular trip, we were staying with a lady who took us through a market and we did some shopping, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the dream. It's just like Europe. They're buying things for dinner, maybe for the next breakfast. They're going to the market every day or two. Maybe that's changed. Let me know in the comments. Now, compare that to how we live in North America and maybe other parts of the world. Let me know. There are the big grocery hauls, the overflowing pantries, backups of backups. And you know, backups often are our just in case. And you know how I feel about just in case. And then we try to organize it. More bins, more shelves, better systems. Like we're trying to out-organize the problem instead of actually fixing it. But the volume never actually changes. And that is the biggest problem. It is the volume. So if we're going to Costco, we're going to the grocery store, just bringing in less volume makes a huge difference. So it's not about copying France exactly. And I know not all French people do this, but it's the principle that we're talking about. Less in, more often, less build up, because when there is less coming into your home, there's just less to manage, there's less to clean, and way fewer decisions to make. And if we talk about city living, many people live in apartments. We stayed in a teeny tiny apartment in Paris. It was like a bachelor. Yeah, it had a living room, a kitchen, like all open, like a tiny little, it was all one, and then the bathroom, that was it. And you had to limit what you would bring in there. And I know people in New York City who I've talked to as well, who say they have to do the same thing. They have to be very intentional about what they have. I've also had people in my membership who have said the same thing. And once they start going through the program, they're like, oh my gosh, like this is so much better. Plus, I've seen videos from Holland of super organized places, and like it's like stuff under the stairs, but it's like so neat, and it's just what they need. It's just organized with less stuff. I absolutely love it, because you can't organize your way out of too much stuff. Now, if you are from France, let me know if I'm even close here or other parts of Europe. And I even tested this one. I went out today. I went, got a couple of groceries, nothing too crazy, one grocery bag, what I needed for dinner, and I thought it was absolutely perfect. Just so much easier, being very intentional about not bringing extra stuff in. And yes, of course, I got croissants, and it was so much easier to put everything away. Nothing got buried, nothing got forgotten, and it just fit into the space perfectly. And this is the one that ties it all together, and I love so much. The home gets reset. Daily, yes. Not perfectly, not all at once, just enough to bring it all back to neutral. Because what most of us do is say, I'll deal with it tomorrow, which is a sentence that has never once made life easier. Because tomorrow Robin is always mad at yesterday Robin for setting her up for failure. And then it's 3 days later and it feels like it's multiplied like gremlins overnight. It feels completely overwhelming. You don't wake up behind. You don't start your day inside of yesterday. And at the end of the day, I just do a really simple reset. Pick things up. I like to just vacuum one small area, just spot whatever, nothing major. And the biggest difference is the next morning. I love it. It just feels so much easier, like you're not already behind before the day even starts. And this isn't about like radical discipline. It's just about changing habits when things get handled. And I love it because when your home is reset a little bit every day, it never gets enough off track to feel overwhelming. Now, I did a really cool spring cleaning thing, trying to follow sort of a Korean routine. Check that out here. I hope something great happens for you today. Please like and subscribe. Lots of people watching aren't subscribed, and I know I'd love to see you here again. Stay tidy and mighty. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.